There we go. Tonight we are off on a mission into the unknown. I bought myself a £40 tent, and what I'm interested to see is, can it hold up to 40-mile-an-hour winds? Does each pound mean a mile an hour of wind? I don't think it does. We're gonna find out. Let's jump into it. Of course, got our adventure dog Chico with us too. This evening he is going to be testing the tent out with us. Let's go, go, go! Now, obviously, for this bit of a challenge on our tent, we're hiking up to one of the highest points around by me. It's about 300 meters. It's pretty exposed. It's out in the hills. It should give us a nice sort of nice gauge of how good this tent is. I've had it for a little bit of time now, and to be honest, I've never taken it out in bad weather, so I've got no idea how it's going to do. But good news is, if it all does go wrong, I'm about 25 minutes from my front door, so it's all good. We'll run back. The storm's been brewing over for a few days now, and it's kind of like coming to a peak tonight. The wind's at about midnight hitting around about 40 miles an hour, which should be a good test to see if our tent is dead good or perhaps not. Shit's joke on the internet right there. That's it, so we're doing that last bit of climb up now, and I'll be honest, as we're heading up into the hills, I've had to put my mic on because it is starting to get a little bit more windy now. Got this stone wall at the moment protecting us because that wind is howling in from the west. I think it's probably going to be a pretty hairy night up there, but that's the whole idea. You can actually see the trees there. This is the only thing protecting me currently. I'm going to head up onto the hills, get this tent pitched. Yeah, see how it goes. You can see where we're heading, just over there. We're heading for the top of that hill, up along, right on the top. Should be nice and windy. There we go, so we're coming up on our final approach now up to the top of the hill, away from the main track. As you can see from my hair, which is an indicator the wind is up, it is here with us, and it is in great quantities too. I've managed to come into a bit of a dip, so it's not quite as bad, but the higher we climb, the worse it's getting. And from my hairometer, it looks like we're going to be in for a bit of a breezy night, folks. Here we go, our undisclosed campsite for the night, random trig in the fells in Lancashire somewhere. Let's get this tent set up, we're going to be in for a windy one. Okay, so we've got it set up now, and I'm going to be honest, even I'll be the first to say, it's not as good as it could be. Reason is I'm missing a few pegs, and that's meaning I can't get all the guy ropes out how I want to. I've pitched it with the wind coming in to hit the side of it to sort of make it, I don't know, a real proper test. There's weather coming in across the fells just over there. I got to get my shit inside this tent as quick as possible, and yeah, see how the night goes. There we go, Chico's in the tent, enjoying it for the night. As I said, not the best pitch in the world, but kind of what I could manage. This is also one of those tents which, with the best one in the world, is sort of not really quite one man and his dog. It nearly is, but it's more of a glorified bivvy bag, really. Another reason I've actually pitched the tent on its side is because the wind's coming in from that direction, which means I can actually still film, and we've got some audio, which is nice. So tonight's dinner is firstly a can of zero alcohol Peroni, because I do a lot of big events and we had a lot of that left over from the last one, so I thought I'd bring it up and give it a go. And with our can of zero alcohol Peroni, we also have a jacket potato in a food flask. So I made this before I left because, as I said, I'm quite close to home here, and it should still be pretty warm. Jacket potato inside there, beans, cheese, all melted in, and with any luck, we've got a spoon ready to go to munch on that. So what a nice dinner. Chico's already had his, he had it at home. And then, you know, a litre of water to wash it down with. How lovely. As you can see, the space inside here is pretty negligible. There's not a lot of it, basically. And I'm using my down sleeping bag to house me and Chico. Hello. The wind's died down for a little bit, but it has been quite high actually. You can still hear it battering, but hopefully it's pitched well enough that we get through the night. So because of how I've pitched the tent and I've actually managed to tighten it down on that one side, it's not moving around quite as much as I thought it was going to. It's also quite like an aerodynamic shape, this tent, really. Like the wind does seem to go over it quite well. I suspect if you pitched it into the wind as well, it would be even better, but we're trying to test it, so you know. The only problem we're having so far is this side's been pushed in quite a lot in the gusts, and what's happening is that inner is becoming really close to the outer, and obviously as people will know, when that happens, you're going to get the water start to come in and start to drip. So I suspect we might get a little bit wet in the night. It's also meant to be some heavy rain in the early hours too, so it'll be interesting with the wind how it copes, but for 40 quid we're not doing too badly. I've also brought a B pillow from my sofa at home because, you know, I had them in my rucksack and I thought, why not? I'm going to have a comfy night, so check me B pillow out. There we go. How good the audio is going to be on this, I don't know, because it's very windy out here, and I don't know how much you can see either. However, tent ready for the night. It's always good to come out and have one last proper look round just to see how things are. Guy ropes, things like that, pegs, see if there's anything else. Just sat at home editing this, I realise you can't see a fucking thing, but we'll just have to live with it because it was really dark, windy, late at night, so just bear with him. So we can push in a little bit better than we might have already done. You can actually see my rucksack poking out just down here, so I'm going to pop that back in just to make sure it doesn't get too wet. The guy ropes are looking a little bit loose in the front, so I'm probably going to tighten those up too for the night. But apart from that, we're not too bad. Beautiful skyline behind us. Hot chocolate in hand, time to head to bed. We've woke up and it's one of those mornings where you really don't want to go outside. There's been water actually coming through in the night. I don't know what the hydrostatic rating is in this tent, but the wind has just absolutely destroyed it, to be quite honest. It's actually incredibly wet inside this tent. And yeah, I've got to chuck some clothes on and go and get sorted and get down off this fell because this is getting pretty bad now. So you can actually see where the problem is. It's on the front of the tent. The poles have obviously collapsed in off the outer, and I think that's what's causing the rain to come through. And everything is wet, like my clothes are wet. I've literally just got on a waterproof jacket this morning. This is pretty fucking horrific. There we go, in a matter of about 5 minutes, no trace left, everything gone. We're going to get off the moors because, yeah. Oh yeah, it's pretty bad up here this morning, that's for sure. And we'll do a bit of a review when we get down to somewhere that's not so absolutely horrific. Right, I'll be honest, that's not actually how I thought that was going to go. I mean, I literally chucked everything in this rucksack, filmed nothing, I've just come down off the moors and I'm back onto the main track down now. That was pretty bad. What happened there was during the night, I hadn't really realised during the night, is the front of the tent had kind of collapsed in. And what had happened with that is all the tension in the outer had basically just kind of gone. And obviously when that went, I'm guessing a lot of that hydrostatic rating too went with it, and I just had a very sort of soppy, wet piece of material sat on top of me and Chico all night long. Chico's okay, by the way, he's there, he's glad to be on the move, I think. But yeah, it just shows how sometimes it's not quite what you think is going to go that goes. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect it to be a pole shift that would cause that to happen, but there we go. 40 pound tent versus 40-mile-an-hour winds. Those winds got up in the night as well. Yeah, bit of a fail really. I think it's probably an easy solve. I suspect if you were to tie those poles to the Arica, you would be okay. But I looked this morning as I was taking it down. I'll have another look, but I don't think the ties are there. Maybe they broke off over the years or not, or maybe they weren't there in the first place. It does seem like a design where tension's meant to play a really key part, but a few wrong moves and yeah, you end up in that sort of situation. So there you go. No, it can't. Who'd have thought, hey? But I didn't expect the weather to turn this shit either, so there we go. Right, thank you for watching the video. It's been, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure, but it's probably an absolutely horrific night to be quite honest, so there we go. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.